Well, good afternoon, viewers. Today we have a Chevy Silverado here. It looks to be about a 16 or something like that. And the complaint is the MIL has been coming on. It's not on now. And they're saying it's stumbling now. It's got 311,000 kilometers, so I don't know if the plugs have been changed. Customer bought a can of intake valve cleaning, turbo clean. Yeah, like that's gonna work. Well, we're gonna scan it and see if there's any codes and look at misfire counters in history. So I've loaded the vehicle history. I've worked on this vehicle before in the past for other things. Let's do a code scan, listen to my furnace. Fuel tank pressure sensor circuit, low voltage. Thought he changed the fuel pump. Test failed since code cleared. When I brought it in just now, I noticed it seemed to crank a little bit longer than I would have liked before it fired up. Some history codes in the ABS for communication. Problems with the headlamp control circuit. Right headlight circuit. Is the right headlight out? No, it doesn't appear to be out. I don't know if that's high beam or low beam. Valid data received from ABS. Left rear audio speakers. Probably broken the wires in the door pillar. I'm curious as to whether or not there's any misfire counters in history, because they said it was running rough, stumbling. Let's look at the engine control computer and data display and misfire data and see if there's any misfire data reported over the last 10 drive cycles. No misfire data. Well, let's look at some fuel pressure PIDs and see if the fuel system data, the fuel pressure escalates when we shut it off. Check for leaky injectors. Recommended maximum alcohol content, fuel composition, Hertz, fuel alcohol content 3%, so it doesn't think there's alcohol in the fuel. Fuel rail pressure sensor voltage, PSI, and desired fuel rail pressure. So I'm going to shut the key off and turn the key back on so we don't lose communication. And we're going to watch the fuel pressure now that it's going to. Because the fuel rail is going through a hot soak condition, the fuel pressure needs to climb. Even though our desired is at 0, because the fuel rail is being heated by convection from the block and cylinder heads. So we'll let this run for a few seconds and see how high the pressure gets. So it's been about 2 minutes. And the pressure has risen to 1131 psi, so we don't have a grossly leaking high pressure fuel pump or a fuel pressure regulator returning fuel pressure back to the fuel supply pump, and we don't likely have any leaking injectors, at least it doesn't appear to be. I'm going to exit out of this. I'm going to save this data list. And then I'm going to exit out, and then we're going to look at misfire counters when I start it. See if any of the cylinders record any misfires when I fire it up. I doubt it. No, it's running fine. So I think we're just going to be proactive and put some spark plugs in and maybe have a look at the spark plugs and see what they look like, but it's not acting up right now. So there's the spark plugs out of bank 1, 3, 5, and 7. Number 7 did count a couple of misfires in the last 10 drive cycles, but it looks pristine. These plugs have obviously been replaced before. We're going to put a new fresh set in, but I'm not confident that that's going to fix the problem, but I'm not even confident that it's a misfire that they're feeling. They could be feeling a problem with the torque converter, which these transmissions are known for. Torque converter shutter. But we're going to put a fresh set of plugs in it, run some combustion chamber cleaner through the intake, and then take it for a road test and see how it performs. So it's back together and running with the fresh spark plugs. I've removed the map sensor from the intake manifold so that I can put a hose in there and spray intake valve cleaner in while it's running. But I'm going to command the RPM up to about 1500, 1800 because it's going to start stumbling when I do this. And of course that's going to set a fault code for the map sensor, but we'll just clear it afterwards. So I'm using the output controls of the scanner to command it to 1850 RPM. And I'm introducing the combustion chamber cleaner. Wouldn't hurt to do this every second oil change. Once the intake valves are carboned up, I don't think that this is going to help. This can is leaking. Then we'll take it for a road test after and drive it like we stole it. It must have shut off the control of the idle speed. Well, we'll cycle the key and restart it. Can is leaking. So we'll shut it off and clear the codes now. So put some dielectric grease on the O-ring seal that goes into the intake manifold. Slip the map sensor back in, reconnect the plug, blow any sand or dust out of the plug, and then put the screw back in. This is just threaded into plastic, so it's not very tight. And we'll clear the codes from the ECM, and then we'll take it for a road test. So I'm going to do an all network code clear, key on, engine off. It's usually pretty quick. We're at 12.4 volts on the battery, so we're okay. Now, I'm not sure if it was a misfire he was feeling or if it was a transmission issue, but we're going to take it for a road test and see if we can see or feel anything. I would have done that prior, but I didn't want to get the engine super hot to take the spark plugs out because we were intending to change the plugs no matter what. I didn't see anything abnormal on any of the plugs. They all look like they're running fine. So we'll see what... I'm going to also go into the engine and functional tests and output controls and reset fuel trim. Click on reset and exit out. Let's go back in and look at some. We're going to monitor misfire data while we drive it, but I'm not certain that it is actually misfiring that they were feeling. They could have been feeling a torque converter chuggle or something like that. So let's take this thing for a road test. So I just got back from about a 10-kilometer road test at highway speeds and city speeds, and it ran beautiful. No single misfire counted. Now I'm not 100% certain that we made a difference, but it certainly doesn't hurt to run that combustion chamber cleaner through the intake. I think you should do that every second oil change almost, because GDI engines have a tendency for the carbon deposits to build up on the intake valves, especially if it's around town driving. Now there was a code in history in the engine control computer. We have no codes now, but he had a history of a fault code with the fuel tank pressure sensor, and I believe he changed the fuel pump in the tank for that reason. I don't know if he cleared the codes afterwards, but I'll talk to him about it, and that's it for now. Let's hope this thing stays running okay.